this is my off day today, so if anybody sees me at my job, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you doing coming back and forth to work? Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little combination of both. One of my subscribers asked me to actually do a miles per gallon and a true reading of how much it takes to get to my job. So I'm going to reset this here, my trip information, and then over here I'm gonna run it like I normally do, 717, and then let's put it in track. So let's start this trip. All right, so we made it to my parking garage where I parked. So I parked exactly in the same spot so that you guys can see. I'm gonna flip my camera back, see. All right, so remember, 70% I'm on the interstate, about 30% back and forth lights in city traffic. Miles per gallon, 18.4. Overall, the trip takes about 21 minutes. I did not speed, so I'm trying to get an accurate, reading for you guys. 16.7 miles, and again, that I ran it on 717 so that you guys can see everything, and I also ran it in track mode so that you guys could see everything. So this is a true depiction of if this was your daily driver, right? That is what it would be. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to reset the trip. So you'll see me reset the trip. And then I'm going to run it again on 717. And this time I am not going to get on the interstate so that you guys, again, can see the differences between the two. Okay, so it's going to be a combination of two videos in one. So while I'm parked in the parking garage, I wanted to kind of get feedback, right? So starting this YouTube channel, if you go way back, if you take the time to go way back, you noticed that I had a goal, right? My goal was to get a couple of cars. I always wanted a Hellcat. That was one of my goals, in which we made that goal. And ultimately I wanted a ZL1, right? In saying that, as this channel takes off, you also want to be practical, because your girl is not trying to go in debt just to sit here and become a YouTube influencer. That's not happening. I'm too old. But, I want to be practical. I want something that is basically not going to drain my pockets. I got a kid going to college, another one coming after. So we have to be adults, right? But at the same time, one of my biggest issues coming from a Scat Pack to the Hellcat was, in my last video, you can check that out, what do I do now? As this is my daily driver, it is not practical to sit here and try to lace this car with more horsepower than it has, right? 717 is more than enough to go to work. Your girl don't need over 1,000 to go to work. And if you're living in this area, you know that the weather can be very unpredictable. I mean, you got rain, and then you got to sit here and prepare for the winter months. So it's a lot of things that you have to factor in. So in saying that, this car here, after I did my ceramic, and check that, that video out as well. But after doing the PPF, the ceramic, little touches to the car, outside of getting my Mickey Thompsons, because ultimately I think that is the wheel that I'm going to go, or the tire I'm going to go with the Mickey Thompson Street Comp. I don't think I'm going to do much on this car. Maybe I'll do a little bit of, horsepower as far as like throttle body, things like that, but nothing to hype up more than this horsepower is already. It's enough for me. So, two cars that I have been researching and trying to really work on, learning the differences between the two, the price, everything. is between a Camaro and when you're looking at the Ford GT, the 5.0, right? Those I have narrowed down to the two cars that I am interested in buying, and hopefully I can purchase one of these cars sometime next year. So that's the potential goal. So I have a little bit of time to sit here and really do my homework on what is best, what is going to be practical for me. I love to drag race, so those are things that I need to make sure that I am considering when going into a second car. I want to be able to mod this car out, because again, going from the Scat Pack to the Hellcat, you lose all of that ability to mod your car out where you can safely drive this car on the street. So I'm looking for, again, practicality. I'm looking for where I can really enjoy building something and calling it my own. I'm looking for what's going to be better performance as far as drag racing. I would love, so there's a lot of goals that I want to do in the future. I want to learn how to go on one of those big tracks, right? Your girl does not know how to shift, so I have been practicing learning how to shift, because I grew up, we always had automatics. So that is one of my goals. It sounds very stupid to some people, but that is one of the goals that I want to hit. So right now I'm actually learning on my husband. He has a Fanatec wheel. So I am learning, because if you don't have one of those things, and you want to invest some money, because that is expensive, but that simulator, the Fanatec, well, these wheels are literally the exact to these cars. I don't even know how these people get that game to feel exactly like a car. You can build and mod up a Hellcat, you can build a GT 500, you can build all these cars and they run exactly like they do on the street. It is fantastic. But that being said, so I am learning how to shift. If you want to see that, let me know. I can make a video on that if y'all want to see me gaming, because your girl loves to game too. That's a little bonus that probably a lot of people did not realize, but I love to game. Anyway, and one of the games I used to like is Call of Duty. That was my ride or die game. Until all of these kids that the age of my son come in here and they're sweats and they just beat the shit out of you, and then you feel like your brain can't connect with the joysticks. But anyway, I digress. So going back to the cars, really looking at what I can get and what I can enjoy next year, because that is my goal, right? Thank you for all the people who have reached out to me regarding, that tough moment that I have showed on YouTube after my patient. Unfortunately, my patient did pass away. It was something that was expected, and it still hurts. But I know that my patient is in a better place, not hurting anymore. So I thank you for all the love and the support that you guys had showed upon me. It made me feel very loved. You guys were genuinely concerned, and I was not expecting that type of reaction, that type of support. Especially, majority of my channel is older guys who I didn't know that you would be very compassionate. All jokes aside, I thought you guys would say, oh God, she's whining again. So I really, from the bottom of the heart, that meant a lot to me, just to know that there are still genuine people out there who care and who are here to support each other. And at the end of the day, YouTube is fine, but this is entertainment, right? This is, not the realistic life. This is just a fraction, a part of life. But anyway, back to what I was saying with the cars. So ultimately, I'm choosing between a Camaro and a Mustang, right? GT 5.0. That is what it's going to be, between those two. I told myself to have blinders on and not think about any other car, because this has been hard to narrow down these cars. Because when you start looking at the Cadillacs, you start looking at everything else, you got to focus. And that is what I told myself. Girl, it's like a pair of shoes. You have narrowed it down to 2 classes, and stay in focus. In saying that, let's kind of go through the Camaro, right? So here's where I'm torn with the Camaro. You have your Camaro. I'm not going to go out there and get a ZL1 right now, because again, I am not trying to break my bank just to make views on YouTube. ZL1 would be a dream car, but I'm not going out there spending $80,000-$90,000 for a car. It's not happening. So I have narrowed it down between a Camaro SS and I'm looking at, you know, an LT1. So when I'm kind of looking at those, again, I'm looking at something that will be practical for me because I love to drag race. The SS, the differences between the two, if a lot of people don't know, it's the performance, it's the tuning, it's all of that package, basically to make that car track ready. Track ready meaning that the ZL1 and the SS, they can handle curves. That is what that car, literally, they put all of that effort into the suspension so that you can handle those curves, right? In saying that, when I'm looking at drag racing, you have to sit here and realize the more suspension, the heavier your car is going to be. Just like when I had my wide body Scat Pack, my Charger. The reason why I lost was not because I suck at the track between my husband, was because my car was heavier because I had that suspension, as opposed to he did not. So his car automatically, the Charger and the Challenger is lighter, and then I had a wide body with that suspension, made it even more heavier. So that's why he was able to pull off of me, right? And those little details make a huge difference when you're trying to win a race. It's very important. Every second counts when you're trying to drag race. So that's one of the things that I'm battling. Now, again, I would love the SS because it's just, again, you have a souped up version of a car. So do I lean towards the SS or do I lean towards the LT1? That's the question when it comes to that. The other thing that, because I'm new to Chevy and I'm trying to learn, I don't know how that car rides. I don't know. I haven't rode a Camaro. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know about the chassis. I don't know anything about that car. So I don't know, is it really, does it feel good when you're driving it? I don't know. I know for a Hellcat, it feels fantastic. And all those people that were trolling saying that the Hellcat is shit and it doesn't drive well, you guys are lying, and I'm calling you shit, because you know why? The chassis is built on it by, like, basically it's built the same as an AMG Mercedes. So I know you guys are not in a Hellcat. I know you guys have never sat or driven in a Hellcat, because if you say that statement, then you're basically saying that an AMG Mercedes rides like dookie shit. And I know a Mercedes AMG does not ride like dookie shit. I mean, my butt has had the luxury of sitting in both. So, again, whoever is saying that a Hellcat drives like crap, you really got to sit here and prove to me on paper why you're saying that. But again, going back to the Chevy, I don't know how a Chevy drives. I don't know. So that is one of my questions. When you're looking at a Camaro versus, you know, the SS versus the LT1, and you're looking at a Scat Pack, they both are comparable, right? You're delivering about 450, horsepower. You got a 6.2 V8 engine. So going to 0 to 60 is about 4.3 seconds. So it is about comparable to what my Scat Pack was doing. So as far as that, I'm okay with that. I think that's fantastic. Now, ultimately, I can get an LT1 and then put my money into it, get all the suspension, hook up that car, and it will outperform the SS. That's one of the things when I'm looking as far as money. So when you're looking at an SS versus LT1, you're looking at a difference of between $5,000 to $7,000. Again, I am not sure if those prices are gouged because I am learning all that, so let me know. But when I did my research so far, I've been doing research for months. LT1s usually go around 37-ish, some $1,000. SSs usually go around, mid 40s on up. So that is the ballpark. That is what I'm trying to work with. I am not trying to go over and beyond paying $90,000 for another car that I'm just going to enjoy drag racing, modding up. So that is the price range, being realistic. Because again, I have a senior coming up and I need to buy him a car. So when you're talking now between a Camaro And the Mustang, this is where ultimately your girl don't know what the heck to do, because Mustangs by far, if you're looking again at racing, are lighter. You can do so much to that Mustang where you can soup up that bad boy. I mean, and my God, it is endless opportunities with that car. Plus, again, now if you're looking at the Camaro versus the Mustang, the interior, sometimes that really doesn't matter. Sometimes it does. But the Mustang looks better on the inside. Camaros are just basic. Now, a lot of people can say that the Hellcat, the Dodgers are basic because they haven't changed it, and I would agree with you. But for me, coming into the Hellcat, when I first started, I was like, I gotta have this Harman Kardon. Oh my God, I have to have speakers. And 9 times out of 10, your girl don't even listen to her speakers because I'm listening to my pipes. So at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't matter to me anymore. I thought initially it would, but that interior really doesn't, it doesn't bother me. I do want to have comfortable seats because the older you get, you appreciate being comfortable. So I love the seats in my Hellcat. I'm not sure how the Camaro feels versus the Mustang. So those are things that I still need to explore. But ultimately, that is where I am torn between the Mustang and the Camaro. So just please let me know, what you guys would recommend. Keeping in mind that I drag race. Now, ultimately, I would love, again, to take it on different tracks. I am starting to, wonder if I can get a Mustang. Oh my God. Then I can go around the whole, that whole track. That would be something that I'm like, hey, you know what? I did that shit bucket list, here I come. Because ultimately, I think that is fun. And again, playing that Fanatec, playing Forza and all of these motorsport games, real life simulations where you are actually feeling and you're getting used to the car, the Mustang, Now, I'm going to tell you right now, your girl ain't never taken the Hellcat on a track. Because you know why? I done busted up, tow up that damn car on. I was scared and it was just a simulation. But I sat there and I thought about everything that car had to be fixed and everything. My heart literally jumped into my toes and came back. Because I was like, oh shit. And you can feel it. Like literally when you're on that wheel, you can feel the intensity that whatever you call it on that wheel. I thought it had carpal tunnel and I thought my rotators were going to come out. That is how strong that is. But that being said, realistically, because I know a lot of people are on here talking about all this crap that they do with their Hellcat, there is no way in hell. There's no way in hell that Hellcat can take them curves. I don't care who you are, what you say, how good of a driver. The Hellcat is not meant to take them curves. Now, Camaro could be. Mustang, definitely. So if it came down to that, then that would be a plus on the Mustang side. But anyway, let your girl know what you think and kind of help me out. Maybe you guys can help me pick between, which way I'm going to go, because I am torn. Right now, I'm at a bifurcated here, like in medicine, bifurcation here. I'm at this artery where it's going to branch off. Which way I go? This way or that way? Let me know. But anyway, so I am going to start my car. So again, you guys can see, and I'm going to now drive home based on, again, I'm going to put everything so you guys can see, so you know that I'm not making this shit up. I'm going to take you off. So again, 717. And then, let me take off that stupid traction control. I ain't trying to slide everywhere. And then let me cleared out my trip. And you see, I'm in the parking garage, and we're just gonna take it all the way down. And I will let you know the results once I get back to my destination. Only difference is this time is I'm not getting on the interstate. So I am willingly burning my gas to show you guys the true depiction of how much it's taking. If you guys want me to do the comparison, I probably can do a I guess I could do the horsepower using 500 to kind of break it down. This is my off day today, so if anybody sees me at my job, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you doing coming back and forth to work? But anyway, I will jump on and talk to you guys in a minute. One thing I wanted to say, who would not love to hear their car just in the parking garage? I don't even know if you can hear that, but I'm just like, I love my car. Whoever said that money don't buy you happiness, that's a bunch of shit, I tell you that. But anyway. Oh my God. So I am driving. I'm still driving because usually I hit the interstate. But this right here, let me show you. To all my people my age, man, this song right here, you know you be trying to hit that junk. This was for my YouTube subscriber. I'll hit your name up here. Hopefully this helped kind of answered your questions. So again, you just look at it and then you can kind of gauge back and forth in estimation, and then you can kind of look at the fuel cost and just see a little bit overall how things are. All right, so I got back to my home area, the screen. So again, this is going on the back roads, not on the interstate. And as you can see, a little bit difference. It's not that bad off. So 15 miles or so to get there. So last trip was about 16. And then the miles per gallon, 15.1 miles per gallon. Again, did not get on the interstate this time. Still rode it in track. So you can see, let me switch it again so you can see that is in track. And then if I touch that, confirmed, nothing changed. Again, here in comparison to riding on the interstate to work. So this is a daily commute, so you can look at both scenarios and basically multiply it by 2, and then you can kind of look at the average cost of the gas.